Hey, this is Danny from Scare Talk. Before we get into all the horror greatness, I gotta let you know about Anchor. Anchor is the host site that we use to record our podcast. Anchor will upload your podcast to Apple and Spotify and many other listening platforms. Anchor is completely free, and you can download the app or go to the website, anchor.fm, and you can record straight on there. There's also some cool editing tools that you can use. Did I mention that it's free? Yeah, so if you want to make a podcast, Anchor is the way to go. Go check it out. Now, for the spooky stuff.
Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror fans. This podcast will cover horror movie reviews, ratings, and rankings. Now for your hosts, Danny and Joel.
Oh yeah! This is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I'm here with Beef Jerky Joel.
Hey guys, what's up? Beef jerky, oh man.
Joel is a little spicy.
Yes.
All right, we are back with our next Scream review, Scream 4 from, what was this, 2011?
Yeah.
2011. All right, Joel, who's in it?
All right, so this one stars Neve Campbell. She is going to be. It's a upcoming Netflix show, The Lincoln Lawyer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it based on, like, the true story of the Lincoln Lawyer? Like the movie?
I'm not sure if it is or not. I just saw that Lincoln Lawyer was what she's going to be in.
Okay.
And got interested because that's a good movie. So
Yeah.
I might check that show out. When Will I Be Loved?
Okay.
And Reefer Madness, the movie musical.
All right.
And
She's done some good stuff.
oh yeah.
Outside of Scream.
Yeah. And we got Emma Roberts. She is Jill. And she was in We're the Millers, The Hunt, 23 episodes of Scream Queens, which that was a pretty good show. I like that one. And 46 episodes of American Horror Story.
Wow.
Yeah. And we got Hayden Panettiere. She's Kirby. She is in the game Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2.
Okay.
73 episodes of Heroes. That's a good show, too.
Oh, yeah.
Bring It On, All or Nothing. And Remember the Titans.
Oh. Well, she
Little
been
girl
a
in that.
little
Yeah.
kid, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
This was written by, we got the guy back, Kevin Williamson.
Yeah.
We missed him in the last movie.
Yes, we did.
He created The Following, which is that Kevin Bacon show, which I really liked. It lasted for like 3 seasons and then got canceled. But Tell Me a Story. It's another show. It's an anthology series.
Okay.
And this is an upcoming movie called Sick. It's it's an original story by him. So
All right.
and this was directed by Wes Craven.
Yeah.
The last time we'll mention him in a Scream movie, unfortunately. R.I.P. He directed Red Eye, Chiller, which is a TV movie, and the one non-horror movie that he's done called Music of the Heart.
Oh. Okay. So the plot is 10 years have passed as Sidney Prescott, who has put herself back together, thanks in part to her writing, is visited by the Ghostface Killer.
All right. Cool.
Okay. There's a lot more to it than that.
Yeah.
So this one, each movie has kind of their theme that they're going for, and it's usually the current relevant stuff in horror.
Yeah.
Is usually the theme. So this one has the theme of remakes.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's also kind of the motive of the killers. And so that's the theme here. And I really liked that. I thought, even when I watched it back in 2011, remakes were still pretty popular. There was, a bunch of them at that time, and before that. So I thought that was like a perfect theme to go for this one. What do you think?
Remakes and instant fame, like going viral, was a big thing too. Yeah, and they touched on that as well in this. I really like that, like the whole filming the kills. Yeah, like Ghostface has a camera and he's just like he puts it somewhere and for his kills, like making his own movie. Yeah, about it to go viral,
do a remake.
Yeah. I really like that too. It's if they continue the series, it's gonna get harder and harder because there's really like as far as what they've touched on. Yeah, they have touched on basically everything at this point.
Yeah, that's why you had to wait 10 years to get a new theme to talk about, and so 10 years, and we got Scream 2022, and we'll see what theme they go for there.
Yeah, I hope that they don't wait another 10 years for another Scream movie. Yeah. I like the Scream franchise. Even like the worst one is still enjoyable. It's still fun. But at the same time, if you continue with the series, it's going to get less and less meta. Yeah. And it's like, so what are you going to, if you want more Scream movies, you have to get rid of meta. Yeah. But if you want to keep the meta, you have to wait a whole decade to get another movie. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Well, what they could do going forward is just because, after 4 or 5 movies, then you're getting into just ridiculous territory. Yeah. Where just, they could
Scream in space.
Yeah, they could kind of play on that kind of stuff. Yeah. I don't know how you would do that, but you can kind of play with that a little bit. The killer's way more ridiculous. It's harder to kill them. It's all that kind of stuff. So I don't know if they would do that.
Could do that, but I mean, there's a reason that those movies are like really cheesy and stupid. Yeah. So if you were to do that, even meta wise, it'd be cheesy and stupid. Yeah. And it's like you're substituting quality for that kind of thing now. Right. Which Scream doesn't substitute quality for anything. So yeah, I liked it. That it it was about remakes and going viral and instant fame kind of thing. So that was fun.
So this is a more serious one. I would say there isn't too much humor in this one. A whole lot. There's some with the like film geeks. But overall, I would say this is one of the more serious of the 4 so far.
What do you think of the opening scene?
I love the opening scene. Yeah. And that's kind of what I'm talking about with the ridiculousness, because they definitely touch on that with, and I think at this time it was more Saw that they were kind of playing with, because
we wanted to watch Saw 4. Yeah. In a Scream 4 movie. Yeah.
Because we were pretty, getting pretty deep into the Saw franchise at that point. And so it was like movies within movies within movies. Yeah. That opening scene. Yeah. That was pretty clever, pretty cool. And like the complicated storyline, she's trying to explain it to her friend. Yeah. She's like, what? This is so dumb, And so yeah, I really like that. Yeah. I thought that was good. It's probably my maybe my second favorite. I like Scream 2, but I think this one has a more connection to the horror of its time. Yeah. Than Scream 2 did. Yeah. So I
Scream 2 was just Stab came out, so they're all going to the theater to see it. So
yeah, which is a connection to Scream and all that, but which is cool. You're watching in the second film, they're watching the first film, that's pretty cool. Yeah. But as far as the connection to the current state of horror, I thought 4 did.
Yeah, they did a really good job with that.
So I like that a lot. So this is a return to form, I think, for Scream. I think the connection to the state of horror at the time is way more clear I think the acting is better in this one than in the third.
Oh yeah,
The characters are more likable.
the more standout characters in this one than in 3 for sure.
Yeah. There's nods to the original. They're trying to do a remake, so there's some connection there, which is pretty cool once you figure out the reveal and you figure out what they're doing.
Yeah.
I like that. I like the film geeks in the film group. The guy who's just kind of doing his vlog of just life at the school, I guess. He has like this little headset that he puts on.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Their knowledge of horror and stuff, talking about it and doing the Stabathon, the 7 film.
Yeah, this marathon that they're doing.
Yeah.
So there was something interesting about that when at the Stabathon when they were showing the first movie with Stab.
Yeah.
It said directed by Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, it did.
On there. I was like, that's awesome. I'd love to see a Scream movie by him.
It did say that. Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like, really?
Kind of a random.
Doesn't really fit Scream, but okay.
I would have been cool if like they had done like a callback to one with like Wes Carpenter or something.
What? Yeah.
If that was who directed it.
Yeah, that was really random. That his name
Robert
got
Rodriguez
thrown in there.
All right.
Must be a friend of somebody.
Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, he must be friends with somebody.
Yeah.
What I thought was funny was they were doing a marathon of 7 movies in a night.
Yeah, I know. That's like 14 hours.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
If they're
I don't know how
each
that
is
works.
like 2 hours long, because each of these movies have been about 2 hours
Yeah.
long, so that's 14 hours.
Yeah.
Without like an intermission, like
Yeah.
that's.
Yeah, and they started it. It was dark.
Yeah,
the
it started
first
at
one they
night.
started at night. It's like, okay, was this a 2-day marathon or it's not really just overnight.
Yeah.
You're looking at through
It's
the
gonna
morning
be
and
daytime
into the next day.
when it's over. Yeah.
So
Oh man, yeah.
that's what I was thinking like right away when you said that. Like, that's 7 movies, dude.
Yeah.
It's a long time. And so we've got Kirby.
Mm-hmm.
She is fun.
Yeah,
In this
I like
one,
Kirby.
she's kind of like the Randy character, I guess, along with the film geek dudes.
Yeah.
They're kind of like a combination.
Mm-hmm.
But her, I guess, love interest turns out to be one of the killers.
Killer. Yep. Macaulay Culkin's brother.
Oh, that's
In real
right.
life.
Yeah, he looks like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So my favorite scene is when he is like fake being killed. Mm-hmm. And he's like outside, it's sitting in a chair, just like what
just like
happened in the first one with the boyfriend at the beginning. And she's inside and she can see him. And she's on the phone with Ghostface and he's playing a game with her, horror trivia. And so it's kind of like a setup from the first one.
Yeah.
And he's asking, he says, which remake of the horror film? And she just starts naming off remakes.
Yeah,
He didn't
like
even
all of
finish
them.
the question. And she just named like...
She could have easily gotten it right if she had just waited.
It sounded like 30 different movies that she named. And it really reminds you of how many there have been.
Yeah.
It's crazy how many there have been. And she just names them all. And that was so cool. And it's cool to see a character with like such quick knowledge of the genre too. I was like, oh, I love you.
Yeah.
I love you. I love that you can just do that. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So I really like that. He ended up fake dying because she
Yeah.
got the question wrong. I don't even remember what the real question was or the answer was.
He didn't say it. He didn't finish it because she just like rattled on all of it, and she's like, "I'm right, right? Am I right?" And then there's nothing on the line, and that's when she goes outside.
Okay. It's like,
he
don't interrupt
doesn't-
me.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah, no wonder I don't remember what the answer was.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I think she named them all. I couldn't
there
think of
wasn't-
anything
yeah.
else.
I mean, in that, I'm sure she did answer it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you didn't let me finish.
And it was not even a real killing. So
yeah.
and just her acting was good.
Yeah.
She was believable, especially in that scene. Like she's like panicked.
She's a child actor. She's done this for a while
She's
now
got
at this point, but
definitely the experience.
Yeah.
More than a lot of the other people.
Mm-hmm.
And something we haven't talked about we didn't really talk about him in 3, and in this one I feel like he's better and has more of a character is Dewey.
Yeah.
In this one, he's the sheriff.
Yeah, he is. He didn't have much of a character in 3. Like,
Yeah.
he was just there.
Yeah, he was kind of...
So,
Yeah. But yeah, so he's the sheriff. He's a more serious character.
Mm-hmm.
He's, doing the investigation. He's kind of more on top of it. He has a partner who is like kind of flirty with him.
Deputy.
Yeah, a deputy. And so that's kind of fun with him and Gail and her and this little, Gail hates her and she is like just looks up to Dewey so much, and so that kind of dynamic is kind of funny. I guess that would be some of the humor that was thrown in.
Yeah,
that whole thing was kind of funny.
Like this love triangle.
Yeah.
Although 2 of them are married, so it shouldn't have been.
Yeah, I don't think Dewey was actually interested in her.
No, yeah.
I just think he liked the idea of like someone looking up to him so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked him a lot more in this one than I have in most of the other ones.
Yeah.
I liked him in 1.
He was
2, he was okay. 3, he was like whatever.
Yeah.
And this one, I think, is probably one of his better ones.
1, I know he is, obviously younger in 1, but he felt like younger brother of Sydney's friends, and it's like he didn't really
Tatum.
Yeah, Tatum. I wasn't like a big fan of him in 1. He was just kind of goofy. Like he was I know it was his character and everything, but I like as he gets more adult, he gets more serious with his role and everything like that. Yeah. So yeah, I think 4 is my favorite I've seen him as at this point in the franchise.
Yeah. I really liked him in this one.
Mm-hmm.
So then we get the reveal.
Yes.
So Sydney comes back to Woodsboro. She's like doing a book tour because she wrote a book. And then all these killings start happening.
Yeah.
And her niece is kind of mixed up in all the killings.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out that her niece is one of the killers.
Yeah.
And she wants to be the star of the movie. She wants to be the new Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to be the only survivor of the massacre so that she can get the fame. She's also looking for the fame online and, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, I think the motive is okay. I like the remake theme. I like that. But her motive is kind of similar to number 3. With the half-brother being, like, jealous and all that. It's not the same.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
She is, and this is entirely exaggerated, by the way. Like, this isn't, this is like the whole, like, YouTube verse and, like, the whole, going viral, like, getting your 15 minutes of fame out there.
Yeah.
Which I do, as far as the motives go for most of these movies, this one seems more realistic to me. It's entirely exaggerated. These people are not trying to like going out there and killing people to get their fame.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where people will do almost anything to get their 15 minutes of fame. Like there's even like YouTube videos and stuff of like people going to like tops of like buildings and like getting pictures taken and just trying to like doing these crazy dangerous stuff just to be famous.
Right.
And so I could totally see someone whose mind is not entirely there
right,
doing something like this, like going on a murder spree and putting herself in a position where she's the only survivor of this like massacre that's going on, to get her 15 minutes of fame, because she was saying that she was always like all her family, everyone was always talking about Sydney her entire life.
Yeah.
And she just wanted some attention, which she wasn't apparently getting from anybody. And I could totally see something like that happening. Someone who belongs in a psych ward,
right,
doing something like this, because she definitely does.
Yeah,
belong in one.
And yeah, I think the motive is fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of similar.
Yeah.
To the whole half brother jealousy thing.
Yeah. Man, she's got some messed up blood.
Yeah. And and then you add on the fame, which makes it better.
Yeah.
There's multiple motives.
Mm-hmm.
And then the whole remake thing and all that, becoming the only survivor, kind of adds up to be a good motive, but just the whole jealousy thing was kind of lame.
Yeah.
I thought. And then
I believe that jealousy over the half brother thing, though.
Yeah.
That was just lame all the way around. So yeah, this is similar but better.
Yeah.
Done much better.
And then the other guy, he's one of the film guys.
Yeah.
His motive was just to make a movie.
Yeah.
Really. Because he was obsessed with Scream or Stab.
Yeah.
And wanted to make a movie, wanted to bring the actual characters to his movie.
And they were apparently together, so I mean, the motivation too could just be to make her happy and part of it.
Yeah, and then he just ends up being killed by her.
Yeah,
like pretty quickly too.
There's got to be only one. It can only be one, which makes sense because I mean, if there's multiple survivors, then there's more of a chance if someone slips up and
and the fame is split.
Yeah.
You can't have that.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I don't know. He was kind of a little too trusting of her.
Yeah. She was hot, and he's he's a guy that probably couldn't get a girl like that normally. So it's like, all right, so I'll do what you say.
And so there's the reveal. She thinks she kills everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then just starts slamming herself around, beating herself up.
Insane.
I love that part. She just wants it to look like, there was a huge struggle and she barely survived. And so she just, my favorite part of that scene is when she just is off screen. Then she just runs super fast, slams, doesn't even brace herself. Just face first into this like picture that's framed with glass and everything. And she just boom, just like, whoa, okay. Yeah. I like how she really flips once the reveal happens.
Yeah.
She's a completely different person.
Yeah.
Great acting. Great acting.
Oh, yeah. Just the niece of Julia Roberts. So,
No, there you go.
It's in the blood.
Yeah.
But yeah, she did a really good job as the killer.
Yeah.
And just that flip, just that personality change. And that's something that most of these movies have in common is once the reveal happens, they're like completely different person.
Yeah.
Billy was the same. He was always a creep.
He was a creep, but he got more aggressive.
He did. Guess. He got more aggressive, but he was always still creepy.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of the other people, like there was a total personality switch.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah, me too.
See two aspects of one person's personality.
Yeah. And it makes it a little harder to predict because you don't see them as that. Billy was really the only one that we could see was a creep.
Yeah.
And but whatever her name was in the film, Sydney's niece couldn't
Jill,
really Jill couldn't really tell that she had that side.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes it
even Mrs. Loomis. Better. There was a personality change in that too.
Yeah, and she didn't have much of a character.
She really didn't. She was just like a reporter.
Yeah,
quote unquote reporter. But like she seemed nice.
Yeah,
until that changed and she got real aggressive.
Yeah, yeah.
And of all like the motives in the sequels, I think that's my favorite.
Yeah,
because that's the one that makes sense. Yeah,
it's more valid. Than any other one.
But yeah, Jill's character, like her acting was amazing in this movie.
Yeah, really good.
I thought.
So she thinks everybody's dead. She, survives barely and then gets taken to the hospital. And then comes to realize that everybody isn't dead. Like, nobody died.
Yeah.
That
Sydney's in ICU right now.
Yeah. And Gail's alive, Dewey's alive, and even the deputy is alive.
Yeah.
And so there's a final fight in the hospital.
Final brawl.
And she ends up getting just like paddled with the what is
that
that
one
called?
word
Defibrillator.
clear. Defibrillator, like in the head.
Yeah.
Oh man, at the very least, I give you brain damage for sure.
She got defibrillated.
Yeah. And I love how like when Gail and Dewey realized that it was her.
Yeah.
Because like Jill's in the hospital saying, talking to Dewey about how Gail's shoulder is. Yeah. And saying that we could write a book together or something like that about. Yeah. And Gail's like, how did she know I got stabbed in the shoulder?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh shit. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's a pretty cool. That you slipped up there.
Yeah.
Jill.
Yeah, something subtle like that.
Yeah.
And Dewey, man, he's on it. He's the sheriff now. Yeah. He's better at his job.
Yeah.
He was able to put that together pretty quickly. Yeah, so I would say, as far as negatives go, because we're talking about a lot of stuff we liked.
Yeah.
I feel like it was kind of drawn out toward the end. I liked the whole reveal, the whole motive, her slamming herself around the house and everything. Yeah. But I thought the hospital stuff was a little drawn out. I didn't think we needed to go then to the hospital and have this whole battle at the hospital.
Those scenes usually, like the movie usually ends like immediately almost after the reveal and they're killed. But this one, it was drawn out. And also, I don't know what her thinking was about attacking Sydney at the hospital, so aggressively like that. Yeah. And everyone else, like you're doing the opposite of what you were trying to do. Right. By making yourself be the victim. Yeah. The only surviving victim. But now it's like, okay, you're shooting people.
Now you're a murderer.
In a hospital.
All kinds of witnesses. And,
yeah, exactly. And it's like you're undoing everything that you were trying to do before. Yeah. And it's like
she just got pissed off and just completely left
unhinged.
Her. Yeah.
And it's like I kind of get it too because if Sydney tells anybody what happened, then she's done. So she needs to shut her up forever. But it's like you're at this point though, you're just completely going ballistic. Yeah. Like you're trying to kill Dewey, you're trying to kill the deputy. Like you need to calm down with
yeah, you got to be a little more subtle about it. Like sneak in there or something and I don't know, mess with her medicine that she's getting. Just something a little more subtle so that
she tried to like smother her with a pillow. I think.
Yeah.
And then she heard Dewey down the hall. Yeah. And she freaked out. Yeah. But yeah, so it definitely was a little drawn out, but
yeah, that's really the only thing I can think of that's really a negative. I liked all the characters. I thought they were good. I really liked the scene where they're talking on the phone. A couple of the characters are like across the street from each other. Yeah. And they're talking on the phone and they see Ghostface kill their friend across the street. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. And that scene was pretty bloody too. Yeah, like when they walk into the bedroom.
Yeah. That was a pretty bloody scene. Yeah. Yeah.
For a Scream movie, like they get stabbed and there's a little bit of blood, but like there's blood on the walls. There's
it's pretty.
There was a struggle for sure.
Yeah, pretty crazy. Visual for the results.
Yeah,
of the death. So yeah, I like that scene. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it was good. We get a lot of more of the updated technology with like texting and all that we see more in this one too. And then of course the social media and all that is a part of this one. So,
yeah, that's pretty cool. Like updating everything as the movies go on. And I like the ending, like the very end of the movie, like after the fight and everything. You've got news cameras all around, and they're talking about Jill as if she is the victim of this massacre. Yeah. And then the camera pans over to Jill, and she's lying dead with her eyes open, and that's how it ends. Like that was pretty chilling. Like saying that she's like the hero of this whole massacre, and she's the victim, and then it turns like she's just dead on the ground at the hospital. Like, wow, all right. Yeah.
So you got your story for a little bit.
Yeah, for a minute. You got your 15 seconds of fame until the real story comes out.
Yeah. Yep.
So, this was a fun one. And for some, I don't know, for some reason, this is actually on a lot of people's, like, bottom of the list.
Yeah.
For, like, even worse than 3.
Yeah.
As far as what they... So I'm like, I don't know what you're expecting.
Yeah. I think... people get kind of tired of the, just the formula of Scream, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they want them to do something different, I guess. I don't know, but that's what Scream is.
Yeah,
you know,
that's,
and it is different each time because of all the like connections to horror that they give you. But it's still the same setup with, you know, the whodunit mystery.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't get tired of that.
No, I don't either.
But definitely. I guess maybe people want something different, but then you would have to call it something else.
You're 4 movies deep into a series. You're not getting anything different at this point. Like it's, you know, they have their own set of rules, their own formula, their own thing that they're doing.
Yeah.
And the killer is different each time. So there should be some sort of, you know, you should like that aspect of it. Like it's, you know, but.
I will say another negative is that the big 3 survive again.
Yeah. It's 3. Okay, fine. You can have all 3 of them survive. But like you're 4 movies in at this point. Like someone needs to go.
And they've been through so much.
I know.
They've been on the verge of death just 4 separate times now.
Yeah. Dewey's been stabbed like a billion times in these movies.
Yeah.
To the point where you think he's actually dead in 1 and 2.
Yeah.
He doesn't get stabbed in 3, I don't think.
Yeah.
Well, it's only Roman who's doing it in that one, so it's just like he's... I don't even think he was really around him very, very much in that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember if he gets hurt. Can't remember. So yeah, I would say that's kind of another negative, but
Sydney
it's okay.
Does almost like it seems like she is about to die though. I mean, she does get to taken to ICU. Like, so
she was right there.
Jill does, Jill does mess her up pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's Sidney Prescott. You can't, you know, she can't die.
Right.
So that was probably the closest she's ever gotten to death.
Oh yeah, definitely.
In this series. It was done by your niece.
Yeah, it's messed up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that will be it for Scream 4. Look out for Scream coming soon, 2022. And we'll be giving you a ranking after we do that episode. We'll probably rank them at the end of the Scream 22 episode. And so that's it. This has been Scream 4, and this has been Scare Talk.
Sleep tight.
Don't let Jill bite.